indicated on there. On the dash.
Which you talk about extended range, or okay, right here. Watch.
Oh yeah, it's normal.
Yep. So if I go to sport. There you go. 57.
Wow.
Now see this green rotating leaf ball?
Yep.
That is that teaches you how to drive this car for peak efficiency. In other words, if I accelerate too hard, see how that goes up?
Oh yes.
And if I brake too hard, see how it goes down?
Mm-hmm.
So the idea is to keep it right there in the center. So the Volt teaches you how to drive it for peak efficiency. Which I don't know of another car that does that.
That's amazing.
And after a couple days in it, you stop looking at that leaf ball because it's taught you. You know now. That's what we mean. I mean, there's no sacrifice for performance. You go 0 to 60 in under 9 seconds, and you got a top speed of 100 miles an hour. I hate the people that say, "Oh, it's a golf cart," and even some of my colleagues who want to compare. You know, when they talk about the immediate availability of electric torque, that's what they say. They say, "Oh, you've driven a golf cart." They don't compare it to a golf cart. It's the last thing I want to tell somebody.
It's just a golf cart. It's a car.
Right. I'm more inclined to compare it to an electric drill. With that analogy, if you squeeze the trigger on an electric drill, how long does it take to get to its top speed? Well, it's instantaneous. And that's a lot of fun to have in a car. You know, it's a fun car to drive, and the silence of it is pretty cool, isn't it?
It is very cool. I was noticing when you were moving it around in the shop. So you can't hear it.
In fact, when we slow down, I'll show you there's a pedestrian alert system on this car. Because if you're, you know, in a neighborhood and there's a guy on a bicycle, you kind of need a friendly way to let him know you're there.
Some legislation on that's kind of on the way, isn't it?
I'm not aware of any.
No.
You know, I would expect at some point they'll make it so these have to make some kind of noise.
What's the ETA on these up here?
They're going to be available in all 50 states by the end of 2011. So,
Mere months at this point.
more detail than that would be a Jessica question.
Yeah.
You know who Jessica is?
I do not.
She is your sales rep. She is your district sales manager. I'm just the guy that comes and tells you how it works, which is maybe a much easier job to have. I think it's certainly more fun.
Bluetooth?
Oh, there's nothing missing on this car.
I guess not.
Now, there is, I press that leaf button there,
Yep.
and that brings up the energy screen.
So it lets you know what systems are working.
And that's
there.
showing you right now that you're getting the energy from the battery to the wheels. Okay. Remember I talked about regenerative braking?
Yep.
All I have to do is let off that accelerator. See now?
Oh, yes.
Now it's putting a little drag on the car, and it's sending some of that juice back to the battery. Now when I go up here to make this turn, remember I said I tell customers if they're driving around town, put it in L, low, because it makes that regenerative braking much more active. And I'll show you what that feels like in just a second. Feel that? I haven't touched the brake yet.
Really?
Yeah. And
That's impressive.
I'm not gonna. But,
Oh, why not?
and you can run it right up to 100 miles an hour in that L. But here's what happens. Watch when I let off.
Oh, yeah.
Quite a drag, right?
Yeah.
put it back. I put it back in drive, and a lot of that drag goes away. Now, remember I said when you're when it goes into extended range mode and the engine comes on, it's seamless. You might not even notice it. I want you to watch this battery gauge here. See over here where it says 8 miles?
Yep.
I'm going to show you how the gas engine comes on. There you go.
Gas engine's on.
Yeah.
You can't tell.
No.
That's amazing.
Because typically all that gas engine's going to do is it's going to idle. Now you hear it idling up. Because what I did is I put it in mountain mode. And I explained to you earlier that mountain mode, now that engine's doing 2 jobs. It's generating the electricity to move us down the road. It's
Bring the battery back up to 45%.
and it's also exactly correct. So in this mode, you are going to hear that engine, and it'll go higher than this. It'll run as high as 4,800 RPMs, which you'll notice.